force ready.
Aye, Commander.
Headquarters under attack. Repairing.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is AguilaDeAcero from AguilasNest, and today we're going to make the review for 8-bit Armies. This title, as you can see, it's a real-time strategy game made by Petroglyph. Petroglyph, it's the company that was formed by the last group of ex-Westwood Studios employees. And this is something interesting because this game, 8-bit Armies, it's really similar to the old classics like Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and even Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. It has the same build mechanics, and the action of the game that is really similar to those titles. So when I first saw this game, I was looking around, talking with friends, and they basically say, if you like Command & Conquer, the classics, you should buy this game and try it out. At my first glance at the game, it was almost like 90% similar to Command & Conquer, and this is a good thing because there aren't these kind of games today, especially with this frenetic action and music style that fits with the game. For example, you can build your base, you can gather resources, you need to build power plants, you need to build up defenses, but the main focus of this style of gameplay is the action. You always constantly fighting. You need to expand yourself to gather more resources, but yeah. And for me this is a good thing because in the old day we have classes like StarCraft, Age of Empires, and these two games are classics, and they are all real-time strategy games, but each one of them plays different. For example, in Age of Empires, it was all a bit more slower. You have the core mechanic that it was fighting, no, clashing your enemy, but it was a bit more slow. You need to play carefully. In StarCraft, it was the same, but it was a bit more accessible for more people, and the action was more frenetic, at least in my opinion.
Ready for siege. Initiating siege. Commander? Bring on!
And in Command & Conquer it was a new style of play that the main focus and attraction of the game was the action. You know how you build your units, you build your tanks, you gather them all up and go all out to war. Having said that, the game was simpler, not easier, it was simpler in the mechanics, and also the music fits with the game because it's all action. And I'm talking a lot about Command & Conquer and so on because this game, 8-bit Armies, is almost the same exact thing as playing Command & Conquer. Even more, you have special weapon attacks like nukes, the particle cannon.
Burn a path. We'll light the way. Light 'em up! Guardians, fire! Ready to burn. Rolling out. Feel the burn. Bring on the pain.
Alright, now we know how the play feels, what it tries to achieve in its core gameplay. Now let's try to focus more on the details. First of all, 8-bit Armies, it's more easier than previous Command & Conquer. For example, it feels like it tries to be more appealing to new users, to strategy games. Some people are discussing in the forums because why the game it feels too easier. Sometimes for example in the cooperative campaign mode it's even more harder. I played the game, and yeah, I think they are right. The game feels much more easier than for example like Command & Conquer. Sometimes the difficulty kind of goes to the roof. For example, you have these missions like it's all easy, and all of a sudden when it goes really up, but yeah, it's a mix of things. You can put the AI on hard mode, for example, or even in insane, at least on the skirmish and multiplayer modes. So you have like a good challenge in there. The real problem, I think, that the AI is always tries the same tactics. It's not like tries to do different stuff, and that's something that is a problem for many users, and for me too. Now let's talk about the campaign of the game. First of all, in 8-bit Armies you only can play with two sides, with the Renegade factions and the Guardian faction, and you can only play only one campaign mode. Saying that it's a campaign is something like I'm not sure if you can call it that, because it's a bunch. Well, not bunch. There are quite a lot of missions, but it feels like a bunch of missions put it together. There is not real story, because you don't have cinematics. You do have a story that is in text over there up in the top before you start the mission, but to be honest, I didn't care about reading it. Having said that, the campaign is interesting and entertaining, because you need to complete 3 objectives, and you complete these objectives, you unlock more units, more buildings, and even extra buildings and units that you can keep as you move forward on the campaign. And this is a small thing, but it's interesting and works really good to keep you entertained and hooked to the game.
Guardian ready. Yeah. Light 'em up. Guardians, fire!
Scorch turret complete. Cannon turret destroyed.
Target spotted.
Cannon turret destroyed.
The real problem with the campaign is that you always play with the Renegade faction, and the enemy is the same faction Renegades but with a different color, and sometimes it gets quite boring. Having said this, the game has a metaverse mode that in here you can play against different armies and races, but keep in mind you can only play with the Renegade faction and the Guardians, but at least you fight against new races.
Scorch turret complete.
Hello. Need fixing? Something broken?
Yes, ATC. Ready to fight. Guardian ready. Guardians, go!
Burn a path. We'll light the way. I'm here. Commander, about time. Let's ride. Is it time? Ready to...
What is in the game? The gameplay, how it feels, how you build stuff, how you build units, how you go all out to war, is really nice. It really feels like old Command and Conquer, and that's something that me and many people like. So for that, Petroglyph, you have a big thumbs up. But now let's talk about the bad stuff. Many of the features of the game are blocked with the paywall. For example, when you start the game, you want to try things out, you go to the campaign mode, and to the left you have the Renegade faction, and on the right side you have the Guardian faction that it's blocked by the huge DLC title. So with the base game you can only play in the campaign with the Renegade faction, and in the skirmish mode and multiplayer you get to play with the Guardian faction. But here's the thing, because after many hours playing the game, you really want to play as another race. So you can say, well, I don't care about the campaign, you know, I don't care, I just want new races to play as. I want to see, I want to play as the same races that I saw on the metaverse mode, but you can't. And this is something that confused me at first, because when I play it on multiplayer and skirmish mode, you can see like free or more size to choose from. And I was thinking maybe you can get it by DLC or maybe an expansion, you know. And this is the problem. In order to unlock these new races, you need to buy a completely new game. That's something that I really dislike. Some people say, oh okay, it's a different game. For example, you need to buy you want the orcs, well, you need to buy a new game. That is called 8-bit horse. You want to play with the aliens and other races, well, you need to buy 8-bit aliens. And I think that's something really terrible in order of in marketing business. For them, I think it's great. For example, some people come in and say, oh, this game 8-bit horse, oh, it feels like and looks like Warcraft 3, I'm gonna buy this. And you play a bit, you have fun with the two races that are in that game. But then you saw that there are other races, for example the Renegades and the Guardian faction, and you want to play as them too, and you want to play them in multiplayer, especially multiplayer. And you need to buy a whole new game. And saying that they are a new ball game is something that so and so, because it's the same overlay like 8-bit Armies. You have this bunch of missions putting together. Yeah, there are some things that are different. How you build, how you research new units. So there are some these details that tries to make the game feel different. But in a quick look, at least, I don't see the reason that they separate the races like this. For example, I'm playing with the 8-bit Armies alone. I want to another race, so I need to buy a new ball game. It's not a DLC, that's the problem. It's a one new game. In the end, I spend a lot of money. So if I want to feel like I have the complete game, I need to buy all this bunch of different games. Let's be honest, Petroglyph. It's confusing because you have 8-bit Armies, you have 8-bit Ors, 8-bit Aliens, you have 8-bit Arena that is only for the multiplayer. It's confusing, it's a lot of money to spend. Let's be honest, it will be much more better if you put all these different games in one and only one complete game. And then we can talk about DLC and new races. But this is confusing, and I'm sorry, but I don't like it. So yeah, that's my main problem with 8-bit Armies. It feels like there is a lot of much content cut off from the main game and put it in a new game. Having said that, I think the game it feels really good. The mechanics are there. It's more easier. It feels more easier and more compelling to new players that never play any kind of real-time strategy game. But it's really fun. In the end, it's really fun. I was having a problem putting a score from this game because all of these that I say that are the negatives from the game, usually I put a really low score when they do this kind of stuff. But in the end, I keep returning to the game, even if I had two races to play as. It feels really good. It's interesting. I think the game could be much more. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that Petroglyph, please don't do this kind of stuff in the future. Try to add more stuff to the base game. Even try to mix all the different games in one, and you will get an amazing game. Because the different races are a lot of fun. I think I'm going with the 7 in this game. I'm going with the 7. I guess the score could have been a 9, but yeah, a 7 it fits quite well to this game.
Yeah. Awaiting orders. Moving to position. I'm here. Keep our distance from downtown. Woohoo! Overtime! Load 'em up!
well, that's just my opinion about the game. I hope that you really enjoyed this review, and I see you guys and girls on the next video review. Oh, and don't forget, if you have a request for a new video or for a review or a series maybe, please let me know. Thank you.